Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 20.
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8th electoral vote, in Indiana with its 11th electoral vote, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to CobraCast IRL. I am your host, D-Day Cobra. Welcome to the Snake Pit. CobraCast IRL is the most viewed live stream on YouTube with IRL in the name, the most super chats, the most members, and we never have to shut our chat down to members only because almost everybody's a member here in the Snake Pit, the 199 in the house. How's everybody doing today? Good to see all of you here. Welcome in to the Snake Pit, to area code 199, Snake Pit Boulevard. I think Chris is actually working on getting those 199s over here for this channel as well, the emojis. And good to see all of you here. Man, it's a pretty busy day today. We got a lot to talk about. We got a few things to talk about. And whether it's Elon Musk absolutely annihilating this clown of a BBC reporter. I have not seen this second part of the interview with Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson. Apparently that aired tonight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I know Krista had to kind of end the stream earlier because we kind of got hacked on our StreamYard call. So she had a bunch of people join in the StreamYard call. She kind of freaked out. So that's what happened. So I had to take care of that before we went live here. But how's everybody doing today? I see we got Quantum DeLorean is here. Legendary No Fucks. Gung Ho Mac is in the house. Corner Pub Gamer SJ Phil D's. What's up, Jessica? How are you? Christian Rocker. I saw the Lost Tales in the chat. Apparently you got some stuff in the Discord, which I just opened the Discord up. And let's see. Michael Harvey. Keenan says, poor Krista. She's okay. She's okay. She got a little overwhelmed there, though. Scott says snake pit. That's right. Snake pit. For the Emperor. For the Emperor, says the 199 crew. Thank you for the Emperor. Lying dog face pony soldier with a gifted membership. Thank you. Getting those gifted memberships rolling. I see Ben Giles dropping a gifted D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you, Ben Giles. The gifted memberships blow me away. It just blows my mind. Celluloid Dream says, Jeremy, you fig. Tom Mick D71, Trump Lake 2024, Lake 2028, Lake 2032, hashtag our campaign 2024, hashtag Red Wall 2024. That's what's up. Fantastic, Mr. Knox. The British reporter should go back to the UK. Never do any journalism again. Elon roasting him was grade A owning, and I love seeing it all. We're going to cover all of it. It really was a massacre beyond belief. It really was. It was a brutal beatdown in so many ways what happened with Elon and that reporter. Bradman says, fun fact, the first Star Wars celebration was held in 199 across the street from where Scipio Africanus was sworn in as censor of Rome. And on the same day, it was sponsored by Bud Light. Man, how about Bud Light losing $7 billion in market cap or stock? I can't remember. I'll have to look that story up. But Bud Light is dying. And again, it's the same old song and dance. Wokeness is a disease. Wokeness is a disease, and it will eat you alive. It will eat you alive, especially if you fully embrace the disease. And they fully embraced wokeness. And yes, they deserve it. They deserve it beyond belief. It was so funny to watch that play out. Ruthie, Star Wars for Life, I want to be a member. Poor Ruthie's not a member. Poor Ruthie is not a member. We'll get you that membership. I'm sure it'll happen, Ruthie. I'm sure it'll happen. We are going to start doing more member streams. I did one for Geeks and Gamers the other day after Tuesday night's main event. We did one here for D-Day Cobra, working on that. Couple of decisions I have to be making, but I'll be informing everybody of what we're going to be doing moving forward. But we are also over on Rumble. So let's see. Why is it titled April 13th? Why is it titled that? Let me edit this fucking stream. I titled it CobraCast, and I don't know why. Let's see. CobraCast IRL. Okay. Save. It's going to take a minute to save, I think. Nope, there it is. Okay, it should be updated now. There it is. Okay, so I see you, JM the Elite fan, over on Rumble, as always, supporting us on Rumble, and I appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well, JM the Elite fan. And I do have Hailstorm keeping an eye on those Rumble rants over there to make sure I don't miss any of them. And I also have Eric K backstage. He's going to help me with any of the member messages that I might miss. So we got things held down around here. All right. So look, we need to jump right into this Elon Musk thing, man. Oh, look at there. Krista got it. Krista has the 199s in the chat. Look at there. Where is it at? She just commented from D-Day as D-Day Cobra. There it is. Krista just dropped the emojis right there. So members can now drop the 199 in the chat. There we go. Look at that. Look at them flying in the chat. There we go. So for those of you, again, people have been asking, what's the 199? What's the 199? Like, eventually I'm going to stop explaining it because it's just going to be a thing. If you know, you know. But so we do Geeks and Gamers daily over on the Geeks and Gamers channel. Monday through Friday, me and Ryan do that show. And so some guy came in there and started talking junk about us, basically calling us retarded. And basically he said that Star Wars Celebration's been going on since, he meant to say 1999, but he said 199. And of course, golden rule here is if you're going to call somebody retarded, you might not want to have any typos. It's just a good idea to if you're going to come into a live stream when there's 2,000 people watching and you go and trash the person hosting, you can do that. You should probably spell correctly. And so as soon as we pointed out that this nut job messed up and didn't put 1999, Then the chat, the MVPs, as always, took it upon themselves. They're like, we are the 199. We are the 199. And now the 199 represents Geeks and Gamers. It represents the Snake Pit, the 199th Battalion right here. So I am 100% for it. Bashy tried to drop 10 gifted memberships on me right when I ended the last CobraCast, and he got it. I couldn't. I even commented. I was like, Bashy, with all of those exclamation points. Bashy's good people, though. Bashy's good peeps. Yeah, all the 199s. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Gay Ryan says, did this VP chick get fired? I read a few articles that she did, but I couldn't find a reliable source. Have you heard anything? I heard the same thing. I haven't heard any confirmation about it. I can't imagine that she's not going to be fired if she hasn't already, though. I just can't imagine it. I'll get that clip of when the 199 was born, because that is going to ultimately become Geeks and Gamers history. So I'll get that clip, and I'll make sure that we file it away so we can play it from time to time. It's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, I don't know, though. I'm not sure. I haven't heard from a reliable source yet either myself. Hey, that's right, Darian Murphy. Jeremy Brady was drafted 199th. Remember that commercial and that 199 shirt he wore? And I remember that now that you say it. That's right. I like it. 199th or 199 Battalion shirt win. Gosh, you guys want so much merch right now. I'm trying to keep up. Revan says, sup, bro? Seeing Ray pisses me off. How woke can you get? They are just flogging a dead horse. 100%. I mean, it is just nonsense beyond belief. And everybody's tired of it. Lady Madra says, I'm Vanya from India. Brandon Tatum was Trump bashing pro RDS after midterms. Unsubscribed. Your support for Trump did not waver. Subscribed. Trump 2024. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, my support for Trump has not wavered at all. Will I criticize Trump from time to time? 100%. I think that it's you have to criticize people that you support, but by and large, I support Trump almost unconditionally, outside of a couple of issues I might have, but he is easily the single best candidate, period. End of discussion. There's no one even close, and Ron DeSantis is falling apart. He has fallen apart since he started to try to mix it up with Trump. He has fallen apart miserably, and I remember all of the right-wing commentators out there that wavered and have became, the DeSantis PR campaign because they just can't stick by their guns because they're so scared of being canceled or whatever. And it shows you a lot about who they are when that happens. So I appreciate that. I will continue to support Trump, and not going to slow down on that one. Not going to slow down. Wizard Dad Andy becomes a new member. Thank you. Welcome to the Snake Pit, my friend. Phantasm Mr. Knox. Who here agrees that the British reporter or that VP of marketing of Bud Light deserves the beard of shame? I agree with you. Ben Giles gifts 5 D-Day Cobra memberships. That's what's up. Larry Butler has become a member of the Snake Pit. Hell yes. Ruthie says, support for your 199. Thank you. Gung Ho Mac, 199 is the number of love letters Ryan has sent to his baby mama Bree. On that note of the reporter, let's go ahead and just get right into this. This is true gold, what Elon Musk did to this BBC reporter. This is some of the best stuff I've seen, man. So this BBC reporter shows up basically unannounced, and Elon, not prepared, grants him an interview. It's on Twitter Spaces. This is how it went right here.
I would only just add that, we have spoken to people who have been sacked that used to be in content moderation, and we've spoken to people very recently who were involved in moderation, and they just say there's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around hate speech in the company. Is that
what hate speech are you talking about? I mean, you use Twitter,
right?
Do you see a rise in hate speech?
I mean,
just a personal anecdote. Like, what do you? I don't.
Personally, my For You I would see I get more of that kind of content. Yeah, personally.
This is every reporter does this, and no one pushes back on these clowns. No one pushes back on these clowns, and I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of hate speech. Oh, hate speech. What does hate speech mean? Define hate speech for me. Anybody that uses the term hate speech, ask them to define what hate speech is, and they can't, because you can poke holes in that all day long. Because it does not exist. It is a made-up term for fake offended left-wingers to use when it's convenient for them. But in reality, they don't believe in it. They only use that term to apply it when they can be fake offended. And it's bullshit. Let's continue to listen to Elon just destroy this dude.
But I'm not going to talk to the rest of for the rest of Twitter.
So you see more hate speech personally?
I would say I would see more hateful content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful? What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
Yeah, I mean, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying.
Dude, that's such a good line. That is such a good line. So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned? This is classic. Holding their feet to the fire. This is classic.
Be banned.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm
just curious. I'm trying to understand what you mean by hateful content. And I'm asking for specific examples. And you just said that if something is slightly sexist, that's hateful content. Does that mean that it should be banned?
Well, you've asked me whether my feed, whether it's got less or more. I'd say it's got slightly more.
That's why I'm asking for examples. Can you name one example?
I honestly don't need. Honestly, I
you
don't.
Can't name a single example.
Remember what he said now. He said, my feed has more hate speech. My feed has. That's what he said.
Whether it's got less or more. I'd say it's got slightly more.
That's why I'm asking for examples. Can you name one example?
I honestly don't need. Honestly, I
you
don't.
Can't name a single example.
I'll tell you why. Because I don't actually use that for you feed anymore. Because I just don't particularly like it.
You said
a lot of people are quite similar. I only look at
hang on a second. You said you've seen
following.
more hateful content, but you can't name a single example. Not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And
then how did you see that hateful content?
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen that for you hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying
I say so that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet. And yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's false.
No, what I claimed.
You just lied.
What I claimed.
Again, this is the problem with so many of these journalists is that journalists, and I use that term very loosely, they are never held accountable for their nonsense that they say. And when you are sitting there, and this is another thing too, they've basically built this idea that Elon Musk is not smart, that he just inherited his fortune and he got lucky. That's the narrative that is going around about Elon Musk since the whole Twitter thing happened. So then they've got in their mind that this guy's not smart. And you're finding out firsthand, he's very fucking smart. He's very intelligent. This is a brilliant man. I mean, the fact that they've underestimated that. You are sitting here talking to him about his company and you're making slanderous comments about his company, making accusations, and he's saying, if you're going to make these claims, can you back them up with evidence? And they can't do it. They cannot do it. One more time, let's back that up so we can hear this guy just trip all over himself.
The last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen that for you hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying,
I say so that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet. And yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's false.
No, what I claimed.
You just lied.
What I claimed was there are many organizations that say that that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on...
You didn't say that. You fucking said that you saw a rise in hate speech on your feed. You said you saw it on your feed. And now, because Elon is asking you to back up your claims, you said other organizations. Oh my God, this dude is a clown.
No, what I claim was there are many organizations that say that that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on my feed or not, I mean, right, and literally you can look at something like the Strategic Dialogue Institute in the UK. They will say that. So
look, people will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm literally asking for a single example, and you can't name one.
Right, and as I already said, I don't use that feed. But
then how would you know that?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know this hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on. We only have a certain amount of time.
Wow. I said, let's move on and watch Elon. Watch Elon's reaction when he said, let's move on.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know this hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on. We only have a certain amount of time. COVID misinformation.
This was said by Stuttering Craig. I was on the Side Scrollers podcast today. And in that moment, the fact that this reporter just said, let's move on, we don't have a lot of time. You are sitting across from the man that his time is literally more valuable than any human being on the planet. And you tried to tell him you need to move on because we don't have a lot of time. The disrespect from these clowns, the disrespect from these freaks is unbelievable. We don't have time. You are sitting across from Elon Musk. Think about how valuable that man's time is. Think about how much time, how much money he makes every second of the day by simple decisions that he makes. And this guy is going to say that, but it gets better.
A few weeks ago, I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on. We only have a certain amount of time. COVID misinformation. You changed the COVID misinformation.
Has BBC changed its COVID misinformation?
The BBC does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
I'm literally asking you about, you changed the labels, the COVID misinformation labels. There used to be...
that long pause.
Misinformation about COVID. Misinformation?
The BBC does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
I'm literally asking you about, you changed the labels, the COVID misinformation labels. There used to be a policy, and then it disappeared. Why do that?
It's so good to watch this all play out.
COVID is no longer an issue. Does the BBC hold itself at all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccinations, and not reporting on that at all? And what about the fact that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not an interview about the BBC.
So again, this guy wants, and it's kind of that same mindset, like they think that you as an individual are responsible for every other human being on the planet, whether that's Elon Musk, who owns Twitter and several other massive companies, whether that's just me or you or some random person. Like, how many times have you seen people go, the people in his comment section are so toxic? What's that got to do with me? Why don't you hold individuals accountable for their behavior instead of some overlord over opinions or whatever? And so the fact that he's willing to lie about hate speech on the Twitter platform and he can't back it up, but he wants Elon Musk to answer for hate speech from individuals, which there are hundreds of millions of people on Twitter. And Elon is supposed to answer for all of them, every person's comment. But yet this guy doesn't want to answer questions for the company that he works for directly about all of their lies and propaganda. Rules for thee, not for me.
Oh, you thought it wasn't?
And this is not an interview about the BBC.
Oh, you thought it wasn't?
I see now why you've done Twitter Spaces. I am not a representative of the BBC's editorial policy. I want to make that clear. Let's talk about something else. If you want to talk about the BBC, all right. Let's talk about something else.
You weren't expecting that.
Let's talk about something else.
This guy got clowned beyond belief. Amazing. A massive win for Elon Musk. A massive win for common sense. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's the end of that one right there. It is beautiful, dude. I wish there was a way that Elon and Trump could get on the same page. I'm not sure if that is going to happen or if that's possible. I really wish there was a way, though, because it would be very beneficial to all of us if those two guys could just get on the same page. I don't know what the fallout was exactly, but what a fantastic moment right there to watch him just destroy this guy, and the guy needed it. And most journalists, all journalists, need to be held accountable like that. I'm gonna try to find the full version of tonight's Hailstorm or Eric. If you guys can find like the full clip of Tucker and Trump, I think part 2 aired tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So if you guys can find the full clip to that, I would appreciate it. It's not going to be on Fox News Channel because they kind of split it up, but somebody usually puts it on YouTube and has the full thing for tonight. It was tonight, right? Can you guys confirm that? Just so I can hear that was happening. That did happen tonight. I think it did. We've got, where are we at? Hayden for 5 says, what's going on? I just got here. Gonna find you a good mocktail. No alcoholic drink to buy you in Vegas, Jeremy, if you're good with that. So I typically, just because I've had so many people try in the past, I never take drinks from people. I get my own drink because the fact that I don't drink alcohol, so many people have tried to, and I think it's, and I know most people would never do it because it's such a fucking disrespectful thing to try to get someone to drink that has, vowed that they're never going to drink. So I actively just do not take drinks from people. I just don't do it. I never have, never will. People bring me a drink and I'm not rude about it. I just take it and I go set it down and I walk away from it because I'm not, it's been tried way too many times. So no disrespect for sure, but I just don't. It's just one of those things. And but I can't wait to meet you, and I believe your girlfriend's going to be there, Hayden, so that's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait. Vegas is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Let me see. Westfield 90 says, sadly, in the end, it's the Daily Wire types, Dave Rubin, Matt Walsh, who pledged to never vote for Trump, who will hand another 4 years to the Dems. I kind of agree with you. Those guys just, they can't stay committed. They can't stay the course. They cannot do it. And that's why we're in the position we're in, because there's a lot of cowards on the conservative Republican side right now that can't stay the course and can't stick with what the obvious answer is, because they're so bitter over mean tweets and someone having mean words. Apparently, it's such nonsense. Jay Tapia says, laughable. This guy calls himself a reporter. 199. That's right. K-Road, I got you, man. I'm getting to him. K-Road, I'm getting to him. Wait, you missed my super chat. Hail Cobra. I don't see one from you. Did I miss one? Hang on. I don't see one from you. I see the one you just sent, but I don't see. I'm looking to make sure. Revan becomes a member. Thank you. That's 10 new members on the night so far. And we're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. Westfield says, Elon showing why he's a billionaire. Brains, 100%. The drunk wedding photographer. The reporter pooped his pants. Yes. Hayden says Elon reenacts the bombing of Hiroshima with a reporter. Berserker, just correcting myself from the other night. I meant to say all the ladies over there at Geeks and Gamers are definitely better looking than you, brother. I'm including Jay and Dan Vask in that category. Peace out, brother. Peace out right back at you. I appreciate it. JW Fackler is a member message. It's not that they think he's dumb. It's that they think they are smarter than everyone else. Very good point. Brockatron, call me faded, but I think Bree's fucking hot, even with the crazy eyes. Just don't fall asleep around her, or you might wake up trans. That is a very true point. The drunk wedding photographer, that pause took 3 to 5 business days. Hayden, for 24 seconds of silence to start the Coof info talk. Then it just drags on. This dude needs to be buried because of this interview clip. Hail Snake Pit, hail D-Day Cobra. Thank you, Hayden. Gerald Armstrong for 5. Trump talked about when Biden fist bumped MBS last night. I find fist bumping highly unprofessional and cringe. I don't know, man. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with that. But I hear you on that. Yeah, I can't. I haven't seen even all of last night's either. I was kind of wanting to react to all of it with you guys, so we'll see if we can find at least tonight's for sure. K Road says, "There you go. You messed with super chat. I don't see another one from you. I will double check, but I appreciate you, brother. I'm sorry that I don't. I looked the whole feed and I don't see another one. Luke H for 20 says potentially coming to the U.S. for June for mate's wedding. We met on Xbox 15 years ago, but you're required to be vaccinated to enter the U.S. It might not be after May, but it's not a guarantee. Should I get the jab or not? I am not a doctor. And I obviously would never tell you what you should or shouldn't do with your body and your time and all of that. But without me saying what you think, or without me saying it directly, I think you kind of know my answer. And the chat is saying what I would probably think. But you're free to do what you want, and you should consult with a doctor. The Snake Pit is speaking right now, though. So I will leave it at that. Hayden 75, Jeremy, you can come with me to the bar, order and get whatever you want, or hell, we can go to dinner. I'm going to do something for you and talk to you for a bit when we are in Vegas. Girlfriend's coming too. Hell yes. Looking forward to it, Hayden. We definitely can do something, man. I can't wait. I appreciate you and all your support, man. You've been mega supportive, and you've been huge with all of this, what we have going on. So thank you so much. Paul Estrada, hail Snake Pit. Jeremy, what are your thoughts about many classic Nintendo songs originating from other artists? Does that paint Nintendo and Koji Kondo in a bad light? Thanks for all of what you do. Well, I was on the stream on Side Scrollers when we talked about that. Man, not really. It doesn't change the iconicness of it and the impact it had on my childhood and how much it carried into me becoming an adult. So no, it has no impact on it whatsoever. But I appreciate that, Paul. Revan says, "Have you got a PSN, bro?" I do, but I'm always offline. I got mass friend requested when I started getting a following on social media, which I do appreciate. But yeah, I do have a PlayStation Network account. All right, full segments. Okay, second clip, first clip. Okay, thank you, Hailstorm. Appreciate you, man. All right, let's see. All right, so here's some of the. All right, so Trump vows criminal conviction won't stop him from 2024 run, and this is from the first one? Is this part 1 or part 2? I haven't seen this. I haven't seen a lot of these clips. So let's hear what the president of the United States of America, the 45th president, has to say.
Do you think Biden will stay in the race?
Look, I watch him just like you do. And I think it's almost inappropriate for me to say it. But I deal with other people. I don't see how it's possible. And it's not an age thing. You know, like I say, I have friends that are 88, 89, 92. Bernie Marcus, Home Depot, is 95. Smart as hell. He's sharp as he was. I mean, he's, you know, mentally, Bernie Marcus, Home Depot, founder of Home Depot, one of the founders. I mean, I had a meeting with him a few months ago. He was 100%. I know people that built their fortunes from 80 to 90. They were always struggling, and they made a fortune from 80 to 90. A couple of people in particular. It's amazing. He's not too old. You know, his age, I think they do the age thing because I'm 4 or 5 years behind. They say, this is a way of getting Trump. Let's go him up. But there's something wrong. I saw his answer today on television about whether or not he was going to run to a very nice guy named Al Roker. I mean, you can't get a softer question than that. That was a long answer talking about the eggs and the this and that. Look, I don't think he can. But say what you want. They didn't expect him to get it.
Yeah.
You know, people could say he won an election. You know, it always goes, I got the most votes of any person, any sitting president in history. I was told if I got 15 million less, I couldn't lose. They're surrounded by vicious, smart people, radical left people, but they're very smart and they're very vicious. It's not him. It's not him. He's now in Ireland. He's not going to have a news conference. When the world is exploding, I own property in Ireland. I'm not going to Ireland. The world is exploding around us. You could end up in a third world war, and this guy's going to be in Ireland and not having a news conference. He hasn't had a news conference, I guess, in months. I saw today where he hasn't. It's been.
Well, he can't. So if he doesn't run, if he's taken out by his own party, or who knows what happens, but it doesn't seem like he's capable of running again, who does run?
Well, obviously, the one that they would talk about would be the vice president, Kamala. That would be the one that they talk about. But I don't think she's performed well on the big stage. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But there are a certain group of people that will go crazy if it's not her.
I kind of think Trump wants Kamala Harris to run. I kind of think Trump wants Kamala to run. That's what I think. But, and I don't know how much more he says about it, but I will still stand by. I think that, mark my words here, okay? This is my prediction. I've already said this a few times, okay? There's going to be two front runners for the Democratic presidential nominee. I think it's either Hillary, but I think the better one, the better chance, Gavin Newsom. I think Gavin Newsom is the person that the Democrats want. He's got the look. He's got the slick, you know, kind of the way he talks. He looks like a filthy politician. He's got the Patrick Bateman look. I think Newsom will be their guy. Newsom will be their guy. I think that's their guy. I don't know if Trump talks about this, but that's what I think.
They're going to be very angry if it's not her. That's a problem. You have a very ambitious guy in California, but he's done a terrible job with the state. I used to get along great with him. You know, when I was president, I got along really good. Gavin.
Well, you got along with Gavin Newsom?
I did. I really did. He was always very nice to me. He said the greatest things. He would say things like he's doing a great job. Oh, he was very
About
nice.
you?
About me. That's why I could never hit him, because he was so nice to me. It's just laying in wait, right? But I could, you know, he was very nice to me. And relatively speaking, some of them weren't. We did a good job for the governors, but they talk about him.
I see it, Maria. I'm going to pull that up as soon as this one's done right here. Thank you, Maria. I did see it in the Discord snake pit. Thank you.
They talk about some others. I just don't see Biden doing it from a physical or a mental standpoint.
Yes.
I don't see it. But it's been a crazy period of time in the world of politics. But he's surrounded by people. You know, they expected Bernie to win. Now, Bernie's older than Biden, you know, whether you like him or not. He's sharp. I watched him being interviewed the other day. He's 100% sharp. He hasn't lost much, if anything, Bernie Sanders. But, you know, he's older. So it's not an age thing. I just don't see him.
So they're trying to prevent you from making it to the general election by tying you up in lawsuits, charging you with crimes. You've described the process.
It's the old Soviet process.
The old Soviet process. And you've described it as illegitimate. If this goes to trial and you get convicted, like, how would you respond in the middle of a presidential campaign?
Well, it's so off. The statute of limitations are years off. It's hard to believe. You know, usually when you have something like this, the Democrats say, oh, he's terrible, guilty. The Democrats have even said, I'm innocent. I watched some of these. I think it was Andrew McCabe, the FBI guy who I fired. He came out, he said, they've got no case. They've all come out and said it. And then you've had Andrew McCarthy, you've had Jonathan Turley, Greg Jarrett, Dershowitz, all of them, everybody, like, and they're, down the middle people. They see it. They say there's no crime. There's no anything. Think of it, Tucker. I've been through 7 years of bull investigations, 7 years. They've looked at, I have a very big company, much bigger than they understand. In fact, when they finally got my taxes, they said, whoa. They took.
That is true. Like, that's what doesn't get recognized enough. This dude is a multi-billionaire that has been in the public eye for as long as I can remember. He's been adored by Hollywood. He's been adored by the Democratic Party. He's been adored by politicians. He's been adored by the mainstream media. He's been linked to, all these hot-looking supermodels and all of this stuff over the years. He's been involved in all types of stuff. And now here he is, running for president, becomes the most hated man within the powers that be. They have investigated him more than any human being has ever been investigated. Everything that this dude does, every move he makes, every conversation, everything, not only just that, his family constantly under scrutiny, and they can't find anything. How many years did we hear about Trump's taxes? How many? We heard about this for years. We heard about his taxes for years. And then guess what? There they are. Now we don't hear about Trump's taxes anymore. Do you know why? Because there was nothing there. The most investigated human being on the planet, and they can't find anything. The whole point is that they're trying to bog him down so that he can't run his campaign.
Took them years to get the taxes. They got him. That was the last you ever heard. You never heard one thing about him. But took them years to get him, because they shouldn't be looking at my taxes. I was surprised the Supreme Court gave them the right. They shouldn't be looking at people. That's sort of another one of the tenets. You don't do that. But I didn't care that much. I just, on principle, I fought them. And they looked. I built a great company. When you do the things that I do, and you employ thousands and thousands of people over the years, just thousands, we've done a great job. And then I ran for president. People were surprised that I won, but I used to see these rallies, and I'll tell you, the rallies are bigger now. The enthusiasm is more now than I've ever seen.
So what do you think, since your poll numbers have risen consistently since they raided this place, Mar-a-Lago?
Well, before they raided
in August.
They were going up substantially before.
Well, they
but
definitely moved after
since
that.
Then, they've really been going up.
So how do you think that your opponents will respond?
I don't know how well. We have two opponents. We have a primary opponent. We have a general election opponent.
I mean the Democratic Party using the legal system.
Well, what they're doing is they're finding, and think of this, they say 11 million pages, but whatever it is, through all of these Democrats' investigations. I had the Mueller hoax. I had impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2. Ukraine, Russia. You knew the Russia. I got that whole term from you. Russia. You'd be screaming and I'd say, this guy's a comedian. But you remember that whole period of time.
Quite well.
It turned out to be a total fake. But think of this. I tell this story very seldom, but because it's a sad story. So the Russia hoax was made up by crooked Hillary Clinton, Adam Schiff, the DNC, the Democrat Party. The dossier is a total fake thing. We're suing them now, as you know, on that. We're suing them a lot because, unfortunately, Bill Barr didn't have the courage to do what he should have done. He was so afraid of being impeached. So I have to do it civilly. I have to sue people. The Justice Department should have done, because these are criminals. But think of this. So you have all of these millions and millions of pages, and they get you on a non-disclosure agreement? I mean, big numbers, billions and billions of dollars, right? And they get you on a perfect non-disclosure agreement, or they get you on nothing. A friend of mine who's a big business guy said, you have to be the most honest guy in the world, because with all of those numbers that you have and those big numbers, they don't have anything. And
Nothing.
You have to see, take a look at the people I just mentioned. Read what they said. There was no crime. In fact, a lot of people saying he indicted somebody. There's no crime. That's illegal to do. What he did. So I don't see it going. I mean, we'll have to see.
So, but just to bottom line it, I mean, the purpose of this is to keep you out of the presidential race.
If I weren't running, or if I had bad poll numbers, let's say.
Right.
And again, remember, the Democrats are the party of disinformation. If they want you to run, if they want to run against somebody, they're going to go the opposite. For instance, they don't want to run against me. And now, I just gave you a poll. I'm 9 points up on Biden. But they're the party of disinformation. So what they say is, oh, we want to run against Trump. Now, they always do that. You know, they do that. And other people would do it, but they do it pretty much better than others.
Is there anything they could throw at you legally that would convince you to drop out of the race? If you get convicted in this case in New York,
no, I'd never drop out. No, I'd never drop. It's not my thing. I wouldn't do it.
So there you go on that one. And so he's not dropping out. They're not going to stop him. I'm going to look and see if I can get this clip from tonight. Let me see what this one is really quick. So let's see. I'm gonna run through this ad really quick. Thank you to Maria, I believe, is the person that shared this with me. So let's see what we have here. Oh, it's an hour-long video. Okay, so I got to skip through it. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Hey, you know what? I think the snake pit's here for it. We're going to watch all this. So apparently this is from tonight. Eric K, did we confirm, or Jay Hailstorm, did we confirm that the one that Maria put in the snake pit is from tonight? Just so I know. While you guys are finding that out, let's see where we are. Hugh Jass says, hey, Jeremy, fist bumping only became cringe after Sharona Cyrus broke out and everyone's grandma started doing it. Sophie says, hail, question, got an email from Twitter, account will not be restored, no reason, emailed back asking for evidence to the VTS. What's my next move? What did they say what they locked you out for? I remember you telling us about this. Did they say exactly why they locked you out of your account again, Sophie? And if you can just you don't have to super chat every time. I'd like to help, and you don't have to super chat. So Eric and Jay Hailstorm will keep an eye on it. So, but give me specifics as to what you ultimately. Oh, there it is, violating of terms of service. But so it was vague like that. They didn't say anything else. Just violating terms of service. That's it. Email me everything you've gotten from Twitter at jeremy@geeksandgamers.com or ddaycobra@gmail.com. Email me that, or put it in the Snake Pit Discord, or wherever you want to put it. I mean, you don't have to put your information out there to everyone, and I'll take a look at it. I'm not saying I can help, but I can at least look at it. As someone, this is prior to Elon's taking over of Twitter. My Twitter account was suspended for 1.5 years when it was still the old regime. I tried to appeal it probably 6 or 7 times. I got denied every time. And then when Elon took over, I tried to appeal it, and it worked. I know Brittany Venti finally got her account back after a lot of nonsense. So whatever I can do, I will try to help if I can. So no, so nothing. You got nothing. Okay, just let me see what you got, and then I'll see what I can do. But I'm not saying I can do anything, but I'll at least try. Wizard Dad Andy, Australia desperately needs someone like Donald Trump to be Prime Minister of Australia. That's what Anthony has been saying, who super chats a lot here on the CobraCast. As he says that a lot. Raging Bull with a noob sticker. Thank you. Eric for 20. Gavin Gruesome has destroyed California worse than any governor. He says nothing but lies, and he's backed by his Aunt Pelosi. If he runs and wins, he will be almost as bad as Biden. I personally think Gavin Newsom can be worse than Biden. I really do. But I do believe that Gavin Newsom is 100% who the Democratic Party wants. They want Gavin Newsom. He's just got that kind of slimy, disgusting political hack look that they love. And I think that Gavin Newsom is 100% who they want. And he can be presented to the public in a light that the Democrats want. And I think a lot of people in the middle would walk right into it because he's got that showmanship about him. He is a horrible person. And yes, Democratic women will easily vote for Gavin Newsom. Tech Lord Gray just paid my taxes, so here's a couple of bucks. And Ian from Timcast, his theme song should be Russia's Train to Bangkok song. Thank you. Yeah, I saw Tim Pool's horrifically bad take on Mario. Last I looked, his video was ratioed, so he's getting annihilated for that, rightfully so. The Mario movie, I made a video on this on Geeks and Gamers, but the Mario movie is becoming something I didn't see. I did not see it becoming this kind of major piece to the culture war. I first of all, I hate that Mario is being caught up in the culture war stuff. I can't stand it. I hate it. But it is what it is. Here we are. But you see a lot of conservatives have tried to sit there and say, oh, yeah, Mario's an anti-woke movie. And it's like, it's not anti-woke. It's just a fucking video game movie about a character that we've all known for 40 years. And it just honors that character. Like, it's wild, man, what's going on. It really is. Yvette's reaction says, damn it, I want to stay, but I can't. Well, I'm sorry, man. The video will be up and live, so you can revisit it. So I'm sorry you have to go, man, but we'll miss you. But we'll see you on the replay for sure. Spirian for $1.99. Thank you, Spirian. Michael, member, says Emperor King Trump 2024. Hell yes. Dr. Ho 32 says, can't think of anything clever to say. So take my money, you grifter. I will gladly take your money, only if it works for you. Don't take food off the table, but I will gladly take your money if you're giving it. Eric K says, Trump's got 199 problems, but a conviction ain't one. That is right. 199. 199. BFSD 150. Y'all are doing another meetup in Vegas. That's awesome. I really wish I could go. It was awesome meeting you at the Orlando meetup and hanging out at Universal City Walk. I try to support as much as I can. Thank you. And great meeting you as well. Any support is appreciated, whether that's super chats, whether that's comments, whether that's likes, it doesn't matter. Lurkers as well. Every single piece of this puzzle is how we are able to create this wonderful atmosphere that we have, and all of you are a part of it. So thank you so much. Gerald Armstrong, BBC for Beard of Shame. Maybe so. That was really bad. All right, let's see. So I think this is let's see. Hang on. God damn it. Where'd it go? Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay. So he just aired 2 clips. That's all it was. Okay. So tonight's Tucker didn't air only the interview. Let's see. Air only the interview. He just aired those 2 additional clips between monologues and topics. I got you. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and play this one right here that I've got pulled up. And let me see. This is a Rumble. So thank you. Here we go.
With us in government, we campaign.
Don't want to hear that.
In France, we call it...
Fuck it. I guess we'll listen to this crazy, stupid bitch.
Actually, Kamala Harris can be essentially anything she wants. And 2 years ago, she transitioned and became a baguette-eating, beret-wearing, bicycle-riding French lady. Here she is.
With us in government, we campaign with the plan. Uppercase T, uppercase P, the plan. And then the environment is such that we're expected to defend the plan.
In France, we call it fromage and speak in broken English. It's too bad the Ukrainian accent is so hard to master, because a lot of these people would already have transitioned into refugees from Kyiv.
Good God.
Well, we're learning tonight from a leak from the Department of Justice to the Washington Post that the special counsel investigating Donald Trump, the Republican frontrunner, is now looking into whether he committed wire fraud. Okay, so as his numbers go up, the number of investigations multiply. This one appears to be related to Trump's fundraising efforts between the 2020 election and January 6th. Of course, this is an effort to sideline the frontrunner in the Republican Party while they figure out what to do with Joe Biden. Meanwhile, Trump is talking in a way that nobody else is about the most serious threat to this country, which is nuclear war. A nuclear war that the Biden administration seems...
Batgoat, did I miss yours? My bad. What do we got here for Batgoat? How did I miss Batgoat? Batgoat for $10. Bless this chat, Reverend. Bless this chat. Backgoat wants me to bless the chat. Well, right now we're doing pretty good. We got 10 new members. All right. We got a bunch of super chats. And Jeremy Osteen is very, very happy with the super chats. Jeremy Osteen is very happy to see so many wonderful souls here in the 199, the snake pit rising up with the super chats, the memberships, and those lurkers. Jeremy Osteen's not a big fan of the lurker. That D-Day Cobra guy, he appreciates you, but Jeremy Osteen needs the money. Jeremy Osteen needs all the money. Wamen. It's so fucking stupid. Here we go.
Intent on sparking through recklessness and truly crazy behavior. And then, of course, the second greatest threat to the United States, the other thing you never hear about as we yammer on about trans rights, is the decline of the U.S. dollar. We interviewed Donald Trump yesterday in Florida, and that came up. Here's part of the conversation.
Iran gets together with Saudi Arabia through China. And China's taken over. And China, I heard a couple of people say, well, the dollar will never lose the dollar standard. Are they kidding? China wants to change the standard, the currency standard. And if that happens, that's like losing a world war. We'll be a second-tier country. We'll literally be a second-tier country if that happens. Now, you're losing Brazil. You're losing Colombia, South America. You're losing Iran. You've lost it. You've lost Russia. And if you haven't lost them yet, you're going to lose them. China's on the yuan, so China's gone. Then you see France going over. No, what's going on? We're losing. If we lose our currency, that's the equivalent of losing a world war. Our currency is what makes us powerful and strong.
Mm-hmm.
And this was unthinkable during the Trump administration. And if I saw Macron do that, I would have called him. I would have said, you know what? No more wine into the United States. No more champagne into the... And I had that with him. I had Steve Mnuchin, a good guy, was unable to make a deal with France. France is very difficult, I will tell you.
Yeah.
They're all difficult because every country rips us off. But France is, in particular, very difficult. And you probably heard where they want to charge American companies substantial tax to do business in France. So I had Mnuchin working on it and other people working. They were unable to do it. They called me back. This for a couple of months. They could not do it. I said, let me have Macron get him on the phone. I said, listen, I understand you're going to tax American companies for doing business in France. Here's the story. On Monday morning, if you don't drop this, on Monday morning was Friday, I'm going to put a 100% tariff on every bottle of champagne and every bottle of wine that comes into the United States of America. He says, no, that's not fair. I said, of course it's fair. You're charging American companies for going to France and doing business in France, a very big tax. So all of your wine, very good wine, but I think we make wine that's just as good. All of your wine and all of your champagne that comes in, I'm putting a 100% tax on. That's it. So good luck. Monday morning at 9 o'clock.
Hell yeah.
That was it. I get a call back 15 minutes later. We've decided we're not going to charge American companies. But you know what happened? Once I left, now they're charging them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the takeaway from the interview we did with Trump yesterday, it lasted over an hour, was whatever you think of his answers, the conversation was about real topics. It was not about global warming or systemic racism or trans rights. It was about nuclear war, the US dollar and its strength against other currencies, our trade balance, the things that actually define a country. They told you he was crazy for all these years, but why is he the only one talking about these things?
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Hurt is opinion editor of the Washington Times. He joins us tonight with reaction to this. Charlie, thanks so much for coming on.
What's interesting too is I've got this clip of Trump from a long time ago. Let me see if I can find it. And he's been consistent on this stuff. And he's always had these stances. And this is the type of mindset that he brings to the table. I'm going to play this 1-minute clip so you guys can hear it. This is him on Larry King Live. Here we go.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I agree with you on NATO. I agree with you on other countries. I don't want to single out Japan. I don't want to single out Saudi Arabia, but these are countries that people understand the kind of wealth we're talking about. And I will single them out. But there are many other countries and taking tremendous advantage of this, including NATO. If you look at the payments that we're making to NATO, they're totally disproportionate with everybody else's, and it's ridiculous. As far as other causes that are near and dear, this is the cause, because if we can solve this, then we're able to take care of something that I consider to be ultimately of ultimate importance, and that is the homeless situation. That is the farmers. That is the sick. We don't have any money. This country is busted. And it's busted because we're doing things that we shouldn't be doing. If we had business ability in this country, we'd be making lots of profit, so-called surplus profit. And that profit, that money, could be going to defend and I literally mean defend our homeless and our poor and our sick and our farmers. And that's where we ought to be spending the money, not giving it to countries that don't give a damn for us to start off with.
Fucking well said. And he's been saying it for a long time. And apparently that's the worst thing in the world, is to, be consistent over the course of 20 or 30 years, or however long that clip was. And yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. But hey, you got a lot of conservatives out there. They're all about Ron DeSantis. They're all about Ron DeSantis. He's the greatest. He's the best. We work for his PR firm now. DeSantis is tanking, and it's his own fault, because there was a tweet that I bookmarked. Let me see if I can find it. There was a tweet that I bookmarked, and he is tanking like really, really badly right now. And try to find it. I don't know where it was. Didn't I bookmark it? Maybe I didn't. Yeah, maybe I can't find it. But yeah, like ever since, like, something has changed, something changed with DeSantis. And it's when it felt like he started getting all of this bad advice from people like Karl Rove and the Bush family and all of that. I want to see if I can find that tweet really quick. It was a good tweet, and they were basically talking about how let's see. Well, this is a clip from Donald Trump Jr. that was on the Full Sim podcast that I personally have not watched the clip yet, and I intentionally don't watch these because I want to react to them in real time with you guys. So let's watch this one right here from Jr. on the Full Sim podcast.
What do you think about how DeSantis, I mean, this is a big topic too, how like, I guess DeSantis versus the former president, like what did you think about what he said?
Dude, I thought, like, again, I saw the flip-flop on Ukraine where it was like he tried sort of taking the Trump approach, like maybe war bad, and then like the donors. Dude, there's a difference.
So what did he say? He was against it first?
He was against it. He sort of took a weak Trump stance on it, and then he was like, well, we must stop it. Putin is an evil dictator. It's like, holy shit, your donors got to you. Like, and that's the difference. Like, that's what's good about Trump. And perhaps that's what's good about even if Trump, in 24, Trump is like a lame duck, can just go in and break all that shit up. You're not trying to get reelected again. You can just do everything that you need to do. And that's the difference, sort of being beholden to your donors, being beholden to the establishment class, the Paul Ryans, like, this is great. Like, he literally was like, well, I'm not so worried about, that's not a big concern. You mean the weaponization of our government against its citizens on stuff that literally every person who's looking at it objectively, including many on the left, they're like, holy shit, this is scary and bullshit. It's not really a big issue.
You're talking about the case against Trump.
I'm talking about the DeSantis sort of
said.
Lack of comment on it, right?
Right.
Like, really? Like, you mean, like, to me, as a conservative, as a Republican, as someone who's been in those crosshairs, like, that's probably one of, like, the biggest issues we face as a country. You see Matt Taibbi, the guy who's the reporter who broke all the Twitter files about, what happened during the election before. Like, yesterday, he testified before the weaponization of Congress committee, Jim Jordan and those guys. And like, the day he does that, the IRS goes and raids his home. Like, we think we still think that's a coincidence?
Not a coincidence at all.
Like, I don't believe in coincidence anymore. So if you can't call out, like, literally the weaponization of governmental institutions against your citizens, come on, guys.
So DeSantis has like big donors, like the former president's donors. Was that all just raised by like individuals?
Yeah,
and
well,
stuff?
no, you have
Like,
big donors on all sides, but we did a big, we had probably the greatest small dollar donor campaign in the history of America, right? Blue collar Americans, like $33 average kind of donation, and you can see, you just look up the stats, right? The people donating to the other side, this guy's worth $9.12 billion. You know what? They want a president when they call, picks up the damn phone. When they say jump, they jump because you need that check. You need that lifeline, right?
It's fucking crazy,
and so
man.
you see that like with the donor class, make no mistake, guys, like the donor class, even in Republican, sort of, they don't have the same viewpoint as like the blue collar sort of, let's call them MAGA Republicans, right? They're gonna be tough on China, but not if it costs me an extra cent in my widget. You know what I mean? These sorts of things. There's a lot of hypocrisy there. So they know, Trump doesn't really need them. Trump doesn't sort of look the same way. And, DeSantis, who's a career politician, like, guess what? He needs that money. And guess what? He needs that money again to further the goal and again. And so he's got to act when they say jump, he says how high. And that's the nature of politics. It's why they went after Trump so hard, in my opinion, because they don't want other people who don't need them in power.
Of course.
Right? They don't want that. They want to show an example. Like, this is what happens. Like, you have a good life. You're a fucking billionaire. You can do whatever the hell you want. Like, do you really want this shit? Because we're coming after you too.
Yep.
Right. And so when you see that weaponization and you're not willing to call it out, guess what? Like, they'll do it to him. If DeSantis ever becomes the guy, or any other Republican ever becomes the guy, like, it's easy when you're trying to pit someone against Trump, because they'll do whatever they can to help you so you can take out Trump. When you're the guy, that's a whole different world. That's a whole different story.
He is 100% right.
If that's the way you're going to handle it when they're doing it, generally speaking, how are you going to do when you're in the big show?
Yeah, that's crazy, because he obviously is doing a good job with Florida and the way he handled COVID. I liked, but it is interesting now when I saw you say that, he just has a bunch of big donors and he might be sold to them.
Yeah, when Paul Ryan's going out and endorsing, and Jeff Rowe comes and runs his super PAC, and Karl Rove is the out there. Like, really? Like, you want another Bush administration? That's fine.
What did you think?
I'm telling you right now, I am out on DeSantis. Like, I'm just out. I'm done. Like, I have no faith in the man whatsoever anymore after the last 2 months. I have none. He has completely been exposed. And this is all because why? Because he got involved with people that got in his head and has basically sold him, Trump's going to face indictments. Trump's going to do this. Trump can't run. Trump's not going to win. And he believed that, and look, the bottom line is, I don't know, like, right now, Trump is, not only is he facing the Democrats, it's 2016 all over again. He's facing the Republican Party. He's facing the Democratic Party. He's facing the mainstream media. He's facing big tech in a lot of ways. Elon clearly is not I don't think Elon's an enemy. So Twitter is not really anti-Trump, but he's still facing that machine. Hollywood clearly hates him. They all fucking hate him. They will mobilize to take him down. And that's what's going on right now. Like, these rhino Republicans have saw DeSantis, they see the potential, and they basically have poached him, and they pulled him in the wrong direction, and to make him believe that he is the heir apparent to Trump, and he can take Trump out, and Trump's going to be doing this. And you've seen, like, his poll numbers have just plummeted since all of this has happened, and Trump knew it. And this is why Trump was out there taking shots at DeSantis every single day, because he knew this was going on. You have been bought and paid for by the machine. And it's sad because, again, I say this as someone that was a big time DeSantis fan and love what he did in the state of Florida. But you can't ignore what's going on, man. You simply just can't ignore it. And it's sad. And I don't even think I would want DeSantis moving forward, like, after Trump is done and gone, like, I just don't think I would want it, because it just doesn't seem like he seems like he could be a George W. Bush type. That's kind of what it feels like to me. He could be a George W. Bush. And what is this Lost Tales that you sent me on Discord with Alex Jones? What is this? It's like a 4-part thing. I don't know exactly what you sent me over there. Let me see. Where are we at? Smash the melee button if you don't mind. That is a simple request from a simple man. And I do appreciate all of you being here. Welcome to the D-Day Cobra channel. This is CobraCast IRL. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. We have a great group of people here. We have the Snake Pit, which is known as our chat, the 199 Battalion, and they are the best chat in the entire internet. This is the most viewed stream on YouTube with IRL in the name. The most super chats, the most viewers, and the most members. And we don't have to shut our chat down to members only because almost everybody's a member already. Look at all that green in the chat. Look at all that green in the chat. Look at those 199s. Look at those snake emojis. That's what it's all about. And I appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. Let me see. Where are we at? Let me scroll back up. Dun, 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 dun. Where's that one? Where's that one? Brockatron. Remember, the end of 2024 is still a long way away. I think he'll either have a heart attack like from Breaking Bad, or you know what I mean, or he'll commit suicide by built to the back of the head. You know, there's no telling, man. There's really no telling. We do have a long way to go, and it's going to be crazy, the path to get there. Sir Yuzaban, what'll rock more, Mario sequel or a Sonic third movie? Undoubtedly the Mario sequel. Undoubtedly. And that's nothing against the Sonic movie. I mean, Super Mario Brothers has already passed Sonic 1 and 2 at the box office in its first week, and it's already become the highest grossing video game adaptation of all time in a week, surpassing Warcraft. So it's a mega success, and I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. So the Mario sequel, if and when that happens, will be the bigger movie. However, I am looking forward to Sonic 3. I am looking forward to Sonic 3. Let's see. Keck Lord says, let's see. Read the lyrics from Rush's 2112. The temples of Syrinx only will take you 20 seconds to read it and understand where and why we are. All right, from Rush 2112. All right, I'll check that out. Bat Goat for $1. Thank you. Berserker, man, if you streamed in the pastor attire with that accent, with Ricada, with the Pope hat, y'all would make stupid money for creativity alone. Ha ha ha. That might be an option. That might be an option for sure. David Nelson, 199 here, 199er here. So in Mando 3.6, Go Gert becomes a Jedi Knight by the Queen of Hearts and Boca until it becomes the new Mando. Entire show is Alice in Wonderland. Bro, I will not watch The Mandalorian season 3. And there's a lot of reasons why I won't watch The Mandalorian season 3. Ultimately, it just comes down to I have no faith in Disney Star Wars to ever return to anything other than the social justice propaganda as to what it is. And that's what it is. It's social justice propaganda. Disney Star Wars exists to push social justice propaganda. That's it. Okay. And no, he spelled it Go-Gurt, but I know he meant Grogu, but he spelled it Go-Gurt. I guess the Go-Gurt like the like the Go-Gurt yogurt. But yeah, I just can't. I have no faith in them. And then of course the Gina Carano element obviously is a major part of it too. But I don't believe that it will ever be fixed. I have no faith in it whatsoever. Fantastic, Mr. Knox. Agreed. France is hard to deal with. Don't know if you know, but they were salty when Australia backed out of the diesel subs and opted to buy nuclear subs instead. France is screwed anyway. And Trump's the only guy that can deal with these places, man. And it takes somebody who's not willing to play their games and flex a little bit of power. The United States has power. And you got to flex on that a little bit. And he's the only one willing to do it. Drew's outstanding on the field says, who wore the beard better, Jack Black or Jack Murphy? Would you be willing to make a poll of it? Jack Black or Jack Murphy? I'm pretty sure Jack Murphy's gonna. Well, it depends on how do you word that. Jack Black or Jack Murphy for beard. Who wore it better? I'm gonna post it. All right, who wore it better? Who wore it better? I don't really know it better. Let's see. Who wore it better? Jack Black or Jack Murphy? I think Murphy's gonna win. But I think it's like in a sarcastic way as to who wore it better. There it is. There's the poll. There you go. Appreciate the $5. Jay's gaping butthole. Trump needs to get back on Twitter. I agree completely. Trump 100% needs to get back on Twitter. He needs to stop fucking around. True Social ain't it. Okay? It ain't it. True Social is not the thing. Trump has to get back on Twitter and start dropping bombs on Twitter. All right? That's just a fact. I agree with you. Mark Hod says, I believe in coincidences. Coincidences happen all the time. I just don't trust coincidences. Garrick, yes. Cliff says, it sounds like the deep state rhinos that DeSantis got in bed with are using mob control tactics. Nice job you're doing. A shame if someone ruined it. I agree completely. Bird Up says 2112 is basically Rush predicting the WEF agenda all the way back in 1976. Very interesting. Katrina VR says, even the Tumblr shippers actually hate Mando season 3. That's a big statement. That's a big statement. When I mean, again, the Disney Star Wars has lost everybody. There's no one left. Disney Star Wars is trash. And you've even lost some of the people that you probably that would pander to some of your nonsense. So right now, Jack Murphy's winning 56-44 on who wore it better. Jack Murphy finally winning something. Smash the melee button if you don't mind. That is a simple request from a simple man. Let's get us up to 1,000 likes here on the CobraCast IRL live stream. Live from 199 Studios here in Orlando, Florida. Making us sound like we're a bigger deal than we are. Ultimately, like, we are trying to do some different things, obviously, with Geeks and Gamers, and we're here in Orlando, and it's a lot of exciting stuff we have going on, but we're never going to lose our roots. We're never going to just forget who we were. And I see a lot of YouTubers that they try to act like they're bigger than they are. The reason you found success on YouTube, the reason I found success is because you're just a regular guy sitting in your house, and so you see like people like John Campea, you get this big studio trying to look like you're far more important than you are. It's just not like, it doesn't make sense. Like, obviously we've got Geeks and Gamers HQ here. But I don't think we've presented ourselves as any different than we ever have before. Obviously, we're trying to do a little more IRL stuff with vlogs and things like that, but it's still the same kind of grassroots effort that we've always had. And while it's costing me a lot of money to do this, I think from the creative standpoint, it's been really good for us. And I'm really happy with the strides that we've made. We still have to do some more leveling up and create some better content from an IRL standpoint. But yeah, I mean, I just don't know. 199 Studios sounds great. I like it. I think that's what we're going to call it. We're just going to be the 199 Studios. I think that's the way to do it. Jack Murphy has won on who wore it better. And so it's about just staying true to who you are and what got you there. Do you remember? I know a lot of you don't watch this person, and I don't blame you at all. But there's a streamer. Most of you are gonna know the name, but there's a streamer goes by the name of Ninja. He's a Fortnite player, and he's one of the most cringe individuals on the planet. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull this up, and I'll show you just how cringe this dude is. See if I can find it. There's this super cringe video from him. My point was like he blew up by being a regular guy in his base, or it's like in his bedroom playing video games. And as he got bigger, then he started to like get this fancy studio and all of this, and it felt super like he lost a lot of his following when he did that. And it's like, that's why people weren't connected to him, because he's tried to act like he was bigger than anyone at that point in time, and your audience lost connection with you. And that's the whole point, is to never act like you're better than your audience, because we're not better than our audience. We're just regular fucking people. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to find this right now. You guys are going to hate this video if I can find it. If I could find this video, it is the worst thing imaginable. Like, you have no idea how bad it is. It's back when like this Me Too stuff was going on, and Ninja made this video. Here it is right here. Jesus Christ. This is the cringiest shit you'll ever see in your life. Okay. I hate this dude so bad. I can't stand phony people like this, but like, look at this cringe dude. This is like a couple of years ago. Look at this.
There are so many Me Too movements being posted in the gaming community right now. It's fucking insane. I had no idea that any of these people who have been outed and exposed were even capable of any of this shit. I mean, I've unfollowed so many people this last week. It's honestly, it's disturbing. To the women who have shared your stories and have exposed these people and their actions, thank you. It's so important that when someone with a platform and someone that has this big of an audience does something like this and continues to do.
Oh, it gets so much cringier. Just wait until he talks about like guys like touching a girl's knee and shit. Just listen.
Things like this.
And this type of mindset is why like everything is so pathetic, because of beta losers like this guy.
That they're exposed and that they're stopped, right? They have to be stopped. That's how you do it, right? You have to stop the fucking madness. You have to expose these people, because if you don't, they're winning and they continue to win, and that's not okay. So thank you for sharing. And I can't imagine what you went through. I can't imagine all the women, what you're going through. To the men, it's not fucking hard. It's not hard to say it, to just fucking understand that no means no. It's not hard. It's not difficult. Okay. When a woman says no, if you're trying to do anything to her, okay, when it comes to her personal space, it means no. Okay. It means no. It does. Okay. And it's pretty obvious when you'll see like a little, okay.
A little.
You might not know what it looks like.
A little.
Okay. But if you kind of go to like, put your hand right on this little hairy knee. Okay, maybe she has a hairy knee and she goes, that doesn't mean she likes you. Okay, that's a sign. And when she says no, it means no. It's not fucking hard. All right? That's it.
I don't even know why I played it. I don't know why I played it.
This is not okay. It's just not.
That type of mindset is so pathetic. To the women that have shared your stories, thank you. Thank you to all the women that have shared your stories. And to the men, it's not that fucking hard. It's like, how about you just let due process work itself out? But no. No, we have to believe all women. And every time somebody that pulls that bullshit, like I think there was something with him and another streamer named Pokimane or something. There was some bullshit she was accusing him of, not like direct sexual assault or anything like that, but it was something. They had a big hoopla. And I thought about that. I'm like, oh, well, I'm supposed to believe women. I'm supposed to believe women right now. So if you, Ninja, if you get accused of anything from anyone, I am not supposed to look at the evidence at all. I'm not supposed to look at any evidence. I'm supposed to just automatically believe the woman, because you said believe all women, didn't you? So just wait until you're accused there, buddy. Wait until you're accused, and then we'll just believe all women, and we'll see how you like that mindset then. Or maybe you'll want due process suddenly. Amazing how it works out that you want due process when it works for you. But when it's easy to grandstand on social media and pretend that you respect women, you're right there to stand for the honor of the women. Fucking bullshit. But that's the clown show. That's the clown world we're in right now. Stacy S. Don't underestimate yourself. Fellowship is very powerful. Hail Snake Pit. Thank you, Stacy S. I appreciate you. Honestly, like, when I started this whole journey with the whole Orlando with the 199 Studios, I think is that official? 199 Studios here in Orlando, Florida. I think that's what we got to call it now. I think it's the 199 Studios. I like that. I like it. But when I started this journey, I had no idea how it was going to work out. But since we've kind of got the party started, we've got CobraCast, we've got the daily live stream on Geeks and Gamers, Tuesday Nights Main Events rocking. All of our streams are doing really well, and it's been a blast. And I thank all of you for allowing that, because again, I work for you. I work for all of you, and I will always work for you. Sir Yusabon says Taika Waititi wants to make an Akira movie. Help. Akira is one of the great animes, and if Taika Waititi wants to get a hold of that, it will be ruined immediately because Taika Waititi is trash. Batgoat, what does 199 or 199 mean? Chat won't tell me. Well, Batgoat, you've supported enough. I think we got to give Batgoat. We got to tell Batgoat what's going on. I think Batgoat has earned the right to get to know what 199 means, right? I tell you what, Batgoat, when we hit 1,000 likes, we're about 140 away. I'll fill you in, Batgoat. How's that sound, buddy? All right. How about that? There we go. Robin Lee, Trump talking down to DeSantis reminds me of when he did it to Romney, saying, if you don't back down, I'll expose your Ukraine money deal. Ron DeSantis feels a lot like Romney right now. A lot. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier gifts 1 D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you. Cliff says, I saw Mario last night. I haven't forgotten that much fun. I think you meant I haven't had that much fun from a movie in years. Seth Rogen sucked. In my opinion, Burt Kreischer would have been a better DK. So I watched it a second time. I didn't like Seth Rogen the first time that much. Like, he was my criticism. The second time, Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong worked a lot better, actually. So yeah, but I'm glad you had a fun, man. It's a really fun time at the movies. Luke says the downfall of Collider Schmoes No Campia was crazy. They were the biggest voices on YouTube for movies. Then 2016 happened and they went insane, attacking fans and defending Game of Thrones season 8 did them in. I don't know how much of this audience knows that world, but like, I was in that world, and again, back then, the Schmoes know, Collider, John Campia, AMC Movie Talk, Collider Movie Talk, all of those guys were my movies, like Sports Center for movies. And I watched them on YouTube all the time. And it's why I learned how they treated people and how not to treat people when you're a YouTuber. They taught me by their mistakes. I learned from their mistakes because I was just a fan. And I would just sit there and I was enamored by these guys. I was just like, holy crap, man, this is amazing. This is what they have, with their YouTube channels and the viewers and all of that. This is amazing. They get to go see movies. They get to review them. They get to talk to these people in the chat, and I was just one of the people in the chat, and they just seemed larger than life to me and unapproachable, very unapproachable. And tend to not even read the chat. It's not like they read the chat and comments or anything like that. They just would kind of talk about things from a mainstream kind of feel. But this is before Trump. So I'd watch these guys, and I was very inspired by these guys. And 2016 happened. And Trump just broke so many fucking people's brains, dude. The election of 2016 and Donald Trump just broke so many people's brains. And I watched the online movie sphere, the online nerd sphere. I watched it fundamentally change. And suddenly, the same guys that would just tell me about movies started to talk about politics. They started to talk about, right-wing, alt-right racism. And I'm like, what is going on? And how is this happening? And then all of a sudden, we move forward to The Last Jedi, and then that kind of broke the fandom. But yeah, it was wild. But I've learned from them to never lose sight of who I am and who you are, and the importance of the audience and the importance of the chat. And that was something that I saw them turn on their audience, talk down to their audience, and you're just a YouTuber, bro. You're not that important. So stop acting like you're that important. That's how I looked at that. And that's how I look at me. I'm just a YouTuber. I'm not anything important other than just, I'm as important as the chat allows me to be. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I am as important as the audience allows me to be. And so as long as you allow me to have the platform I have, then I will continue to have the platform, and I will appreciate the fact that you're the people that allow me to have it. And I feel like those guys lost touch of that and started to attack everybody. And lessons learned from other people. Do we have 1,000 likes now? Batgoat? Do we have 1,000 for Batgoat? Let me refresh and see. Not yet. Batgoat, not yet, buddy. You're not gonna find out. So Phantasm Mr. Knox says, guess what, we got a third choice for Beard of Shame. Hailstorm's gonna be busy tonight. So Hailstorm, what are we thinking? Let me get Hailstorm in here for a minute. Who are our options, Hailstorm? What do we got? Do you already have somebody in mind, Hailstorm?
Do not.
All right. So we've got the BBC reporter with Elon Musk as an option. We've got Ninja, and who else? Let's see. Let me see. Let me start the poll. So we're gonna do BBC reporter. We're gonna do Ninja, who's just bitch made as always, at an option. Who else? We already did the Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama got it. We've already got the Dylan dude. Let's see who else.
Throw yourself in there again.
I can always throw myself in there. Just for the hell of it. Okay, Cobra, and I don't know if Gavin Newsom's there yet. I mean, obviously, just by default, he could be. You guys want DeSantis? All right, we'll put DeSantis in there. All right, there's your 4 options, chat. Vote away. Give Hailstorm some work. There it is. All right, you keep an eye on it, man. All you. Have fun. Okay, so there you go. So there's your options right there. I feel like the BBC reporter is going to win. I really do. Let's see. Arisaka, the Dapper Goose. How about the 199th Snake Battalion? I actually like that. I like that a lot. The 199 Snake Battalion. There we go. I like that. Here we go. Pin the message right there. The 199th. The 199, the 199th, however you want to word it. Snake Battalion. I pinned the comment right there. I like that one a lot. That one guy, I feel Ninja would get the Beard of Shame if he was capable of growing one. Bruh for $4.99 says, bruh. You love it. Courtesy of Montana. Hello, Jeremy. Hello, Cobra. Hello, Snake Pit. I got great news today from the doctor. I no longer need to wear my neck brace anymore. Thank you for everything. Hey, man, that is awesome, Curtis. Chat, in all seriousness, throw some love to Curtis D from Montana. Out of his neck brace now. That is awesome news. Show some enthusiasm, Snake Pit. We talk a lot of shit. We have a lot of fun. But when one of our brothers, one of our sisters is in need, we are there. Hail to Curtis D of Montana. That is what it's all about. Drew, outstanding in the field. Do you have an opinion on channels like New Rockets or Mr. Sunday Movies? I feel like they are knowledgeable on movies and shows, but they're socio-political bias shows. Appreciate the poll post. I salute. Thank you, sir. I don't know about new rock stars. I used to watch Mr. Sunday Movies a long time ago, and I think I occasionally see him in my feed. I can't say that I can speak to any of his socio-political bias because I haven't noticed any of it, but I haven't watched him in years. But I used to watch that guy before 2016, before everybody's brains kind of got broken. So I can't speak to it now, and I don't know who the new rock stars are. That's not ringing a bell for me at all. Let me see. Janaz says, as an autist, reading body language is hard. Can women just start verbalize their feelings? Can women just start verbalize their feelings? I have no idea. This is a great question. Each individual person has to answer that. Bebop 1988 says, Bat Goat 199 is referring to the size of Lizzo's waistline. All right, so Bat Goat, I think they're intentionally holding back. I think they're holding back on Bat Goat just so he doesn't get his answer, which I appreciate. Fobane OG becomes a new member of the Snake Pit. Thank you so much, Ryan Schaefer. Travis Pastrada is 199, the craziest dude on the planet. Moma says, did you see Drunk 3PO's clip of Young Turks having a meltdown? He sent it to me. Let's see. All right, here we go. How long is this clip? Okay, let's see. I have not seen this yet. I don't watch the Young Turks at all. So let's watch this together. Here we go. All right.
To be honest, I just don't really care to like collaborate with any other leftist ever again at this point.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at, because they come on the show, they build a name for themselves, and then they build a bigger name for themselves, trashing us as if they don't know who we are, as if they haven't worked with us, they don't know what our actual political values are. So I don't, Jake, I never want to talk about them again. I never want to address them again. It's a waste of time. There's important stuff going on in the country. Our personal drama with a bunch of leftists on Twitter doesn't matter.
That is fantastic. Drunk 3PO's in the chat too. What's up, Drunk 3PO? That is really fucking good. Oh, that's excellent. Oh man. Holy crap. There's look at Jay. Oh man. That is great. You love to see it right there. Yeah, that's what happens. Like she's been eaten alive recently by the leftists, by the way, on Twitter. They have been destroying her. And it's been so funny. All right, Batgoat got his 1,000 likes. Now I need at least $100 super chat before I'm going to explain it. I'm just kidding. So the 199, the 199th Snake Battalion is because somebody came in the chat and started talking shit during Geeks and Gamers Daily. Started talking shit about us. And we were talking about Star Wars Celebration cringe. And this guy comes in the chat and he starts calling us retarded. And he says, you guys are retarded. Star Wars Celebration has been going on since 199. And he meant to say 1999, but he said 199. And again, the number one rule in talking shit is if you're going to talk shit, if you're going to call somebody retarded, you better not misspell. You better not have typos because you're going to get annihilated. So this guy said 199. Star Wars Celebration has been going on since 199. And we highlighted it, laughed about it like we often do, made fun of the guy a little bit. And then the chat took it upon themselves to create what will now become a legendary Geeks and Gamers meme, the 199. And they were like, we are the 199. We are the 199. And I'm like, holy shit, party like it's 199. And that's where it happened. And now we have this amazing meme that was born by all of you. And yes, go support Achromatic Chronicles Blue, Drunk 3PO's book. Get it today or donate it. Support Jay in his first book. Well said, Eric K. Well said. Batgoat says, I love it. Thank you. Hey, man. Appreciate you, brother. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. The people that don't, the people that ultimately what is going on is there's a lot of people that are very angry that they don't have what we have. That's ultimately what it comes down to. That's it. And, like this clown right here, this person right here on social media, I had to highlight this. So this person This person says, Big L as G&G tries its damnedest to lie and grift on Tuesday night, falling flat on their asses as a result with only 3,700 views. Sad. That was the amount of people that were watching us live last night. 3,700 people, not to mention the other, I think 600 or 800 on Rumble. So we had about 4,500 people watching us, which is a massive number for anybody. The 4,500, I will take 4,500 all day long, okay? Like, holy shit, are you kidding me? So this person was like, we're failing because we only have 3,700 people watching us last night. So I just retweeted, only 3,700 people is a fail? Holy shit, these people are fucking weird. And this person also was mad about me and Ryan. No, Ryan and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Kathleen Kennedy did not get caught lying, nor did she destroy the IP. You guys are the ones who regularly lie and try to destroy Star Wars. And very, very mad. Very, very mad. And of course, I just, thanks for watching. I love our fans. It's so funny. Then we have this clown right here, this soy boy right here, Jack McBrien. Who is Jack McBrien? He is the co-founder of the Direct and MCU Direct, an MCU fan page, a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan page. So he says, we are all trying to find the clowns who tried to make the conversation about the Super Mario Brothers political. Who would do such a thing? So I responded, you stupid fuck. That's not my thumbnail. It was someone criticizing me. So that thumbnail is not me. That's not my fucking video. That's someone talking about me. Melanie Mack was defending against the Girl Boss Peach stuff. But dumbasses like this, and he got ratioed to hell. He's got 15 likes. I commented 365 likes. So you got destroyed, you clown. You fucking clown. All right? And look, I mean, seriously, who's going to take this guy serious? Seriously. I mean, soy boy extraordinaire, okay? This dude sits when he pees. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Sits when he pees. So that's what we're dealing with, these clowns on these clowns on Twitter. The Mario stuff has been wild, man. The Mario stuff has been wild. It has created such a massive discussion online that I was not fully prepared for. I was not fully prepared for at all. And here we are. Like, there was this one right here. Like, Jack Posobiec has I want to watch this, actually. I bookmarked this earlier. I got to hear what Posobiec says right here, because this is from the Post Millennial, and Posobiec says, Jack Posobiec discusses the massive success of the new Super Mario Brothers movie, which rejected wokeness and has been smashing box office records.
This morning, the Super Mario Brothers movie is leveling up the charts. Look at us! We're adorable! Smashing expectations and heading for a record $195 million U.S. opening, the most ever for a video game adaptation on the big screen.
Come on, Mario! Our big adventure begins now!
We see people from multiple generations going out to see this movie.
The iconic franchise is now passing Frozen 2 as the biggest global opening for an animated film.
So why did Super Mario Brothers do so well at the box office? And why is it that...
I don't know what he's going to say, but it's a pretty simple answer. It's based on one of the, if not the most iconic characters in the world, with 40 years of fandom, and they did right by the character. That's the simple answer there. And again, 5 months ago on Friday Night Tights, I predicted this movie was going to be $1 billion film. I said, if it's good, it's $1 billion movie. And a lot of people rejected that. A lot of people said, there's no way it's making $1 billion. I said, it's making $1 billion if it's good.
That, and I see, by the way, that there's some complaints. There's some questions about. So I say it's because there's some controversy about this. But let me just say this. I do not think they injected any wokeness in this movie. They really didn't. And when I'm saying that, I'm comparing it to what Disney does with their films. The anti-Disney is basically what this is. And keep in mind that this is...
I at this point in time, you guys know me and Jack Posobiec have had our differences. I like Jack Posobiec. He clearly doesn't like me, but that's fine. I like Jack Posobiec. I disagree with him on stuff, and he couldn't handle me simply having a disagreement with him. But right now, he's right in terms of like it didn't interject wokeness into it. That is the right take. It didn't do it. It's not that it's anti-woke. It's not anti-woke, but no, they didn't interject wokeness into it. That is a very positive thing about the movie.
Is still run by Japan. Nintendo of Japan, Japanese company, obviously one of the biggest around the world, after Toyota, some of the others, that they did not allow any wokeness into this movie whatsoever. So Shigeru Miyamoto, he's the creator of Mario.
Yes.
Still around. Also did Legend of Zelda, Star Fox, Donkey Kong, some of those great original games. In fact, actually the first movie with Mario, or first game with Mario in it, is Donkey Kong. He's the main character. So Miyamoto said he didn't want this to have any story. He didn't want there to be any narratives in it whatsoever. He said it should feel like a game. It should just feel like a game. You're there. You don't really have much there. You don't need like a big explanation about why these guys are bad and why these guys are good and how all this stuff works. Like, no, just make it fun. Just make it straight up fun. And there's a recreation of the original Donkey Kong at one point in the film. And the fact that there's no wokeness, John Leguizamo, who played the original Luigi, was all butthurt that he wasn't in the film, asked to come back and play the voice. So he started saying, well, there's no diversity in the film. There's no Latin representation. I was the original Luigi and it was great. It's like, bro, you weren't the original Luigi because you were Latin. You were the original Latinx, by the way, right? You were the original Luigi because you did a great job. And by the way, I'm one of the only people who will actually defend the original Mario movie. Look, I get that that's not what people were looking for, but back then in the 90s, there was a lot of dark content out there for kids. Go look at that. Was in the wake of Batman that had just come out. The Ninja Turtles movie had just come out, the first live action one. That was super dark. People forget exactly how dark that was. And then Batman Returns was super dark. Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze.
So far, I agree with everything Posobiec is saying. In terms of in terms of the movie, like in terms of the reason that Super Mario Brothers movie was successful, the most recent one
was super dark. That was just sort of the norm for movies that were coming out around then. But I think the reason
the movie
that Mario
was trash, but I see what he's saying on the
came out. It was the stuff had gotten so dark by that point. By I think it was like 93, 94 when it came out, that parents were just turned off. They said, we don't want this. So I think it's a great movie for what it was trying to do. But in terms of reaching out to that much wider audience, I can understand why it wasn't as successful.
Yeah, but there was this that time you had stuff like Batman and Ninja Turtles. Were they dark? Yes, but they were good. That's not why people frowned upon it.
So anyway, with this new film, they decided to completely reject wokeness. They're not like race swapping any of the characters. They're not gender swapping any of the characters. Now, I did see that Tim Pool had a tweet up and he said, well, hold on. They should be called The Adventures of Princess Toadstool and her wacky sidekick, Mario. So he's pointing out, and Tim's my friend, all right? But we disagree on movies all the time. We disagreed on Batman. We're going to disagree on this one as well. That in this case, in this instance of Mario, this is the hero's journey template. This is episode one of potentially a franchise where you've got your main character who comes as a classic template that you see follow in movies from the original Star Wars to Back to the Future to Indiana Jones, et cetera, et cetera. You meet the main character when they're kind of at their lowest, when they're still just figuring out the ropes. They are thrown into a new situation, a new world. They have to figure out how the new world works. They don't figure it out at first. They suffer a series of setbacks. And by the way, you can't say that Mario is just some sidekick throughout the film because, okay, yeah, does Princess Toadstool kind of like show him the ropes? Sure. But the reason that she's doing that is because Mario is, as the protagonist in this film, He's the stand-in for the audience. And so when you have a character like that and you're introduced to a new world, what do? You have another character that introduces that character to the world, but what they're actually doing.
Yeah, he is saying Mario incorrectly. It's Mario, not Mario. It's Mario.
Doing is giving the expository background of the world for the audience, for the purposes of the audience, even though, with Mario, I don't think you really need that much of it because, again, as we said before, Miyamoto said he didn't want there to be a lot of plot to this. It's like, yeah, we live in this land and there's a bunch of mushrooms and these things give you powers. Also, there's a bunch of monkeys in the next kingdom and we need their army. So we're going to go over. And also there's these like turtle things that are going to come get us, if we don't do it. The end, right?
Turtle.
Like that's how it works, right? There's no big backstory. So then what does Mario do? He beats Donkey Kong. Okay. So beating Donkey Kong totally puts over Mario.
All right. So overall, I agree with, that's the first time I've seen it. And he 100%, I agree with everything he said right there. In terms of he didn't say it was anti-woke. There's nothing wrong with saying that it rejects wokeness or it doesn't have wokeness, because that is a factual statement. It does not have wokeness in it, but it's not anti-woke. It's not going out of its way to say, hey, we are anti-woke. It's anti-woke by default, but that's not anti-woke. And I think that's the wrong message to put on a movie like this with 40 years of fandom. Ultimately, what it is it honors the source material and it honors the fandom. And that's what we need in entertainment. That's what we need. That's all we need. So it is what it is. And that's the most important takeaway to have from it. I hope that, I think that this movie is having a massive impact on entertainment and entertainment moving forward. Time will tell if it does have the impact that I claim it's going to have. But so far, so good. We'll see. Let me see. I got that. Oh, Sir Usman, time for Nintendo to have some bragging rights with a slogan. Nintendo Film Universe. Now you're watching with power. Pray for any new film releases. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Tyler Harris says, woke is a horizon never to be held in your hands. Lying dog face pony soldier. I can't take you, the Young Turk, seriously when the Turk wants to take your guns and Americans agree. And the Armenian agrees. Yeah, I don't watch them at all. Not even to roast them. I don't know a ton about the Young Turks. I've seen little clips here and there, but I don't know a lot about them. Drew outstanding in the field. What I meant to say is that are there many leftist channels in the YouTube movie circle? In my opinion, they have good technical takes, but prop up the Marvel and the Star Wars. What I meant to say is there are many. Oh, okay. I got you. You're 100% right about that. There are a lot of leftist YouTube channels in the movie sphere. And they have good tech, they have a good setup and good technology, but they are going to shill for Disney Marvel. Because they want that access, 100%. Bird Up says, Odin's going to eat pineapple pizza and love it. Looking that way. Bill Clinton, Z-Herb. Something doesn't have to be anti-woke to go against the grain. Agreed. Thank you, Bill Clinton. Sir Yuzabon, fun fact from G4, when they were fun to watch and hang with. Games, even in the 80s upstage box office earnings, try to process that for a beat Disney. Yeah, man, it was huge back in the day. Huge. And honestly, games are bigger than anything right now. The games are the biggest thing in the entertainment industry. Not even close. Bill Clinton says, is he saying Mario? Yeah, I don't like how he was saying that at all. Phantasm Mr. Knox says, went to watch Mario a few days ago. Great film for the kids and fans alike. Great film for all ages, unless you're Grace Randolph. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Jeremy, what's up, Savage Talk? Jeremy, you need to see Sargon roast Anna and the Turks from back in the day. Shout out to Sargon. What's up, Savage Talk? Yeah, Sargon's awesome. I would love to get Sargon on the show. I mean, I do it so late, so I don't even think that's possible. I'd have to do something earlier in the day. We've had Sargon on Friday Night Tights, and we discussed having him on Tuesday night's main event. I think the time would be a little weird for that, but we could get him on the Geeks and Gamers Daily potentially. And obviously, I want to do some stuff with CobraCast. So, Nostalgia for Day says, does Guardians of the Galaxy beat Mario? I mean, it will when it releases. Overall box office, I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy will make overall more than Mario. It will dethrone Mario. It will dethrone Mario as the #1 box office movie when it comes out, because Mario is going to be in its 4th or 5th week or whatever it'll be. So it'll take over #1, but I don't think it'll do overall more numbers than I don't think it'll do overall more numbers at all. Not even close. We got Rumble rants from JM the Elite Fan. Nice to know the neocons and boomercons who've had their heads up their asses sniffing their own farts for years are finally pulling them out to discover the cultural side and war. LOL. Thank you, JM the Elite Fan. And shout out to Rumble, our audience over on Rumble. Always appreciate you guys being over there. Still got 100 people. Still got 100 people over there on Rumble. That's what's up. Thank you guys for being here. JM the Elite Fan, any recommendations for nice spots in Orlando to move to? Looking to move to the state soon. Got some channel podcast pitches for y'all too once I get settled in Florida. Also, new Zelda trailer drops tomorrow. Yes, I heard about that. So the new Tears of the Kingdom trailer drops tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Orlando's pretty spread out. I mean, Orlando is a big city, and there's a lot of like outskirt towns like Kissimmee, Lake Mary. There's a lot, so there's not really one specific place. Lake Mary is very nice. It's like north of Orlando and the theme parks, and so I there's a lot, and it's really spread out. So, and traffic's gotten really bad here. And if you're looking just for Florida in general, I mean, Tampa's really nice. Jacksonville's nice. And so I'd recommend looking at those areas too. But Orlando's huge. So there's a lot of area that spreads a lot of different Claremont area. So it's really just finding the right place and finding the right spot. True Gentleman. Crowder covered Newsom's attempts to tour red states this past week that no one else is talking about. The American Psycho seems to be trying to become the front runner. I didn't know about that, but that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because I'm telling you guys, I think Newsom's their guy. I 100% think Newsom's their guy. I really do. And that's a scary situation for sure. GM Steel Haven for $1.99. Thank you. Back Goat for $2 says, it's a beautiful lie. Ace of base. Ha! Suck it. Bill Clinton says, does Fast X beat Mario? When does Fast X come out? Overall, I don't think so. I just don't. Mario, I think Mario has potential to be $1.5 billion film at this point in time. Fast X is going to be a massive hit. It's going to have massive international returns, like it always does. And you got a great cast, so I mean, I do think that it has potential to make $1 billion. But I don't think it could beat Mario. Mario, I think, could be the biggest movie of the year. Warren Smith says, thanks for keeping me entertained while on a train to dreaded Melbourne to drink. Hey, man, I'm just glad you're feeling better, and I hope everything goes well for you, man. And that's really good news you shared with us earlier. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Super cool of you to do that. It's amazing. Like the gifted memberships have been out of control on not only this channel but on Geeks and Gamers as well, and it's really been crazy. And I love seeing all the enthusiasm. So many, like, look at all the greens still here in the chat, man. You know, it's wild. It's so good, and it's amazing. Warren Smith with a thumbs up, and that's what it's all about. Newsom is a bum. He is, but he's a scary bum. He's a very scary bum. And I'm telling you, Gavin Newsom, he's probably like, I've shown this before, but let me see if I can find it again. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Hang on. This right here, like this is him. This is Gavin Newsom. I don't know how much of this I can play. I don't want to get hit for copyright. Let me move this over here. I might get hit for copyright on this, but this is Gavin Newsom right here.
I live in the American Gardens building on West 81st Street, on the 11th floor. My name is Patrick Bateman. I'm 27 years old. I believe in taking care of myself, in a balanced diet, in a rigorous exercise routine. In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing my stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now.
This is you know it's accurate, dude. It's so fucking accurate. It's terrifying.
After I remove the ice pack, I use a deep pore cleanser lotion. In the shower, I use a water-activated gel cleanser. Then a honey almond body scrub. And on the face, an exfoliating gel scrub.
This is like, again, so many of you, if there's someone in the chat that hasn't seen American Psycho with Christian Bale, it is, in my opinion, and I think Christian Bale's one of the greatest actors of all time. I think American Psycho is Christian Bale's best performance, and that's saying a lot because he's given a lot of great performances. But American Psycho is a phenomenal performance, and that's basically what Gavin Newsom is. It's a must-watch for sure, Lance.
Then I apply an herb mint facial mask, which I leave on for 10 minutes while I prepare the rest of my routine. I always use an aftershave lotion with little or no alcohol, because alcohol dries your face out and makes you look older. Then moisturizer, then an anti-aging eye balm, followed by a final moisturizing protective lotion. There is an idea of a Patrick Bateman, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity, something illusory. And though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there.
Howard, it's Bateman, Patrick Bateman. You're my lawyer, so I think you should know I've killed a lot of people. Some escort girls in an apartment uptown. Some homeless people, maybe 5 or 10. An NYU girl I met in Central Park. I left her in a parking lot behind some donut shop. I killed Bethany, my old girlfriend, with a nail gun. And a man with a dog. Last week, I killed another girl with a chainsaw. I had to. She almost got away. And someone else there, I can't remember, maybe a model, but she's dead too. And Paul Allen. I killed Paul Allen with an axe in the face. His body is dissolving in a bathtub in Hell's Kitchen. I don't want to leave anything
out. Oh, my video might get taken down for watching this as long as I have, but I don't care. Because of copyright.
Out here. I guess I've killed maybe 20 people, maybe 40. I have tapes of a lot of it. Some of the girls have seen the tapes. I even I ate some of their brains. And I tried to cook a little. Tonight I just had to kill a lot of people, and I'm not sure I'm gonna get away with it.
Holy shit, man! I gotta stop it there. This video is gonna. I hope the stream doesn't get taken down, but that's Gavin Newsom in a nutshell. And again, if you have not seen American Psycho, I highly recommend it. It is one of the truly great performances in cinematic history, in my opinion. And I say that as I'm a huge Christian Bale fan. I think he's amazing. So, oh no. Oh no. Jay just sent me this. Oh God. Star Wars Explained. This is Star Wars Explained YouTuber with the gay Jedi. Oh my God. I'm going to mute it at least. Oh no. Oh no. God. That's Disney Star Wars for you right there. That is Disney Star Wars. Oh my God. There's only one thing to play. There's only one thing to play when you see something like that. There's only one thing, and here it is.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Hailstorm, how we looking, man? How we looking? Let's see. All right. Let me see. We got any I moved this over here. Sorry about that. Let's see. Does Gavin like Huey Lewis and the news? I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. Let's see. Mr. Bentham says Gavin Newsom Adam Carolla interview must watch. Is there a Gavin Newsom Adam Carolla interview? Or is that like a parody? Is that a real thing? Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, that's like this is a long time ago. Is that what you're talking about? From a long time ago? Yeah. I don't know if I like it's an hour long. So let me see. If there's some highlights, I wish there was some highlights. I don't want to listen to the hour long one, but let's see. How long is that one? 10 minutes? Let's see. Here we go. All right, here's a 10-minute. This might be a sizzle reel. Let's see what we got here. Okay.
Speaking of chanting, meditation, and the exact opposite, I had to sit around all day, and I want to talk about the pirate ship for a second. And, you know, people tweeting me all day. The Huffington Post has come out with a story that says Adam Carolla to Gavin Newsom, what's wrong with blacks and Latinos? That's it's not what I said to Gavin Newsom. I didn't bring up blacks and Latinos. He brought up blacks and Latinos. But let me now take this moment to talk to all the pussies that are out there trying to stir things up and turn me into a racist. I got news for you. Me saying parents should stick around and raise their children, me saying families and cultures should focus on education, it's not radical or revolutionary. It's the fucking truth. Now, you guys all want to line up behind cowards like Gavin Newsom and put your full support behind a guy who's doing what? For whom? What is he doing? All Gavin Newsom is doing is telling us the system is broken. By the way, you are the system, Gavin Newsom. You and all your fucking people are one big system, and it's broken. It's like the fucking crew chief saying, no, it's not the driver, it's the car. The car's broken. Well, you're the crew chief. Yeah, the car's broken.
Hell
well, fix
yeah.
the car. It's not the driver. Okay, it's not the driver. Then it's the system. You are the system, Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
Fix the system. But you won't fix this system because you know what it takes to fix the system. And you're a fucking coward. And guys like Huffington Post, you guys fucking line up behind these people. And let me tell you something. You guys all have blood on your hands because the problem could be fixed. It's a problem. And it's a problem that involves bodies. People die every year. There's people getting shot. There's brown people shooting other brown people on the streets of Chicago every fucking day of the week. And you guys sit there silently. If it was a Sandy Hook situation or anything else, you'd be all up in arms, but you can't say a word. So you sit there with your fucking coward hands over your fucking cowardly little soup coolers. And then when somebody has the guts to say something, to speak the truth for fucking one hot second, you jump up his ass and call him a racist. Thus, you silent the media. Now you perpetuate the problem. So The politicians sit there with their arms folded because they're cowards and they're pussies, and they're in the job. Their job is being reelected, not saving poor people, not helping poor people, not saving brown people, not saving kids from shooting kids or black on black crime or poverty. That's not their job. Their job is to get reelected. So they sit there. That's their job. I don't blame Gavin Newsom. Gavin's a nice guy who doesn't want to do shit and doesn't want to say a word because he wants to be reelected. And if he starts speaking his mind and he knows the truth, and by the way, Gavin Newsom, he comes from a broken family too. Right. His dad was the head counsel for Getty Oil. Okay. His dad's an attorney for Getty Oil growing up. He didn't grow up without having to make ends meet. That's such bullshit.
Not just an attorney.
Since it's an hour long podcast that he questions Newsom on, I think in future future CobraCast we will listen to that. This is awesome. I've interviewed Adam Carolla. I've interviewed him on Geeks and Gamers. It's on the channel. It was like a year ago, something like that.
The
attorney for the biggest oil company, one of the biggest oil companies around. That's what your dad did, and you're trying to fucking have us play a violin for you and your hard Scrabble upbringing so you can be one of them? Are you fucking nuts? I'd love to know what schools he went to. I'd love to know all the fucking private schools and nannies and all the places he was toted around. But all right, Gavin Newsom and Viragosa, Governor Brown, all you guys, you have to fucking walk the walk and talk the talk and shut your fucking pussy holes because you got to get reelected. I understand that. That's your job. I don't want you reelected, but you can't say a word because you'll get thrown out on your ass. But the news media, it's your job to try to do something. It's your job to blow the lid off these things. This is an epidemic. It's an epidemic. What's going on in the black community is an epidemic. And it's an epidemic that's involving people dying every day. If this was sickle cell, you guys would be talking about it. But it's not. It's a social issue. It involves family. It involves some judgment and some finger pointing. And you're not willing to do that because you're pussy cowards. You are willing to point fingers at me. You have no problem with that fucking finger. You'll point fingers at me all day long, but you won't point fingers where they belong, which is at these families. And consequently, kids are living in poverty. Generations are rolling over in poverty, and they're dying.
Yep.
They're shooting each other. They're stabbing each other. They're killing each other. You won't say a word. The politicians won't say a fucking word. The so-called leaders won't say a fucking word. And when I say a fucking word, I'm called a racist. So you can silence me. Good. Have it your way. Nobody say a fucking word. And then we'll watch all the black and brown people just go off into poverty, and we'll hear all the stories about all the 14-year-olds on the streets of Chicago being shot by other 14-year-olds. Is that your plan? You fucking coward pussies. So let me tell you something. I got something called a pirate ship, Huffington Post. I don't give a fuck about you and your fucking opinions. Hold on. Did you hear that sound? That was the sound of me selling a bottle of Mangria, you pussies. And what was that? That was the sound.
That's after the guy finishes the Mangria and throws up.
That was the sound of me selling another book. And that was the sound of another ticket being sold in another city I'm coming to sell out another theater and sell another 40 cases of Mangria, you fucking pussies. And if I was on radio and I was on TV, I would have to apologize. I have a program director in here right now getting me to apologize for what? Telling the truth? For telling a politician to do this fucking job? Who, by the way, a politician who brought up the topic. I did not bring it up to him. He brought it up. I told him, let's find the answer to this problem. I danced with him for 20 minutes, and he came up with nothing other than I've oversimplified things by suggesting dads should stick around and raise their kids. Good. I think that is a simple answer, and I think it's the most effective answer. But on the other hand, I'm a racist. I hate Black people and Hispanic people. I don't have a problem with Jews. I don't have a problem with Japanese. I don't have a problem with many other cultures. I've just decided to focus on these two and take all my racist ire and direct it toward those two cultures. I don't know why I'm not hating Armenians.
Oh, you got around to it.
I get around to it.
Yeah.
I'm not taking my iron, directing it toward I don't know, whatever Chris Maxipata is over there. Nope.
Got a pad and pencil.
Just focused on these two. So keep going, Huffington Post. Keep pointing fingers at people that speak out. Good job, media. Silence everyone who says there's a problem. Silence everyone who attempts to take these people and really earnestly get them out of poverty, to really earnestly try to look at the problem realistically, to look at the problem of violence, to look at the problem of education, to look at the socioeconomic problem. Someone who really honestly tries to take a look at this problem, you silence them by calling them a racist. You have the racist finger out all the time, but the finger you use for personal responsibility, that stays up your ass. That never leaves your asshole, you hypocritical pussies. Anyway,
I'm guessing they're on different hands.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, different finger.
not the wifey
different arm.
hand,
Right
yeah.
arm,
Not
left
the
arm.
Edie hand.
All right. I have built a pirate ship. I know you guys would love to get a fucking boycott going. Go ahead, pussies. Get your boycott going. I own the fucking building. I own the building. I own the fucking mics. I own all of you.
Oh, so now you think
Row,
you own people?
motherfucker. I own everything. You can't do shit.
That is awesome. And yeah, I dropped a link to this video right here. And then there's Eric K dropping my interview with Adam Carolla, which I haven't seen that one in a long ass time. But we had a great discussion. Maybe I can get him on again at some point. But that was legendary. Shout out to Adam Carolla. That's what's up. And again, that was a long time ago. So, but I'll look into this Gavin Newsom interview. That sounds pretty fun. That's something we should definitely react to here on CobraCast. No doubt about that. That was awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I got that one from Mr. Bentham. And then Bird Up says Gavin Newsom could solve the oil crisis by wringing out his hair. Come on, Gavin. Be the hero we need. Yeah, he's a terrible person. That he is. All right, so we are now at the point in time where it is Beard of Shame time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. CobraCast IRL and the 199th Snake Battalion is proud to present to you tonight's Beard of Shame. It is a very well-deserved Beard of Shame, as they all are, because they are voted by you most of the time, and you, the chat, are always right. I appreciate all of you for another excellent episode of CobraCast. We will be live tomorrow on Geeks and Gamers Daily for our daily stream, and then me and Ryan have our political stream over on Patriot Outpost, so make sure you're tuned in for that. Other than that, I really do appreciate it, and I'm always thankful for you guys giving me the opportunity to do this show and the opportunity to speak with all of you every single day, whether it be on Geeks and Gamers, whether it be here on D-Day Cobra or any of the other channels that we have. So I really, really do appreciate it. No, Chris and Joe, I will not be booting up Fortnite. I'm going to bed. I got to get ready for Geeks and Gamers Daily tomorrow. So anyway, yeah, it is today actually. So I'm going to bed and then I'll be still waking up the same day to do Geeks and Gamers Daily. So Snake Pit, I love all of you. The 199s in the chat, the 199s, and still got 1,300 people here. Crazy, crazy. But it's time for the Beard of Shame, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Here we go. Tonight's Beard of Shame.
Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
Why did you agree to do this interview with the BBC?
I don't know. I like spontaneity, and I don't know. There's a lot going on, and it seems like I actually do have a lot of respect for the BBC. Although sometimes I forget what the BBC stands for, you know. But what does it say? Just kidding.
Holy shit. Okay. Hailstorm, that was good. That was good. Oh, one more time. Let's just play the whole thing over one more time.
Fuck you. Heartfelt.
Why did you agree to do this interview with the BBC?
I don't I don't know. I like spontaneity, and I don't know. There's a lot going on, and it seems like I actually do have a lot of respect for the BBC. Although sometimes I forget what the BBC stands for, you know. But what is it? Just kidding.
All right, that's a really good. That was really good. Shout out to Jay Hailstorm. Good work on that one, my friend. Good work on that one. That was funny. And we also have Eric K here backstage. Hi, Eric. How are you,
Greetings
sir?
and salutations, everyone.
Oh man, good stuff. Good stuff. So I appreciate you guys for helping keep this show going. Nice work, Hailstorm. But we're gonna call it there, guys. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I'll see you tomorrow for Geeks and Gamers Daily. Have a good night. Shout out to our Rumble audience, and we will talk to all of you later. 199th Battalion Snake Pit Battalion out. Appreciate you guys. Good night, everyone.